In this episode, we're talking about how to have faith in your darkest hour. In challenging times, we need to hold on to faith. But how do you have faith when everything around you is falling apart? We look into that in this episode. Welcome. This is Gull Khan, your money mindset expert. And I help people like yourselves with beliefs around money, challenges around money, to build a healthy relationship around money. Now, I'm here today with another empowering episode of Money Mindset with Gull Khan, where we deep dive into connection with money, spirituality, energy healing, and abundance. And today's topic is actually one that resonates very closely with many of us, especially if you're going through some challenging times. We're going to be discussing today holding on to faith in your darkest times. So, how does one hold on to faith when it's the darkest? I know many of you may be facing challenges right now, whether it's financial, personal loss, or feeling of hopelessness. This episode's there to help you navigate through your darkest time. It's dedicated to providing you with tools and inspiration to keep your faith going, even in your darkest moments. And if I help you in your journey, I will feel satisfied in mine, because I never share things from reading something in a book or believing that I can repeat another person's story. I give you these tools, these episodes from the bottom of my heart, based on my life experiences, what I've gone through. And the last couple of months have been very, very challenging for me for various reasons in business and personal life as well. Yet I'm here today to talk about how me holding on to my faith helped me navigate through those darkest times. And I'm going through some elements of my life are still in pitch black darkness. And I'm navigating my day every day through the darkness, holding on to faith. And I know how important faith has been for me, that I thought the very first episode we do after a short break has to be on faith. You cannot live your life to its fullest without the faith, because I tell you what, every single one of you who's listening to this right now is going to go through life's greatest challenges. And a lot of the time, every single day, you'll have one or other challenge, sometimes small, sometimes big. But these challenges are not going to go away. It's how you choose to live your life while you navigate your life through these challenges is the key. And the easiest way to do that is to have faith, is to believe that there is a supreme energy. Call it, for me, that's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for it can be universal energy, it could be God, it could be Jesus, it could be a whole, whatever name or label you wish to attach to it. It's that entity that's keeping you going and is helping you navigate your path, and it's going to help you come out the other end. Without that faith, you will fall apart. And this is why this first episode has been dedicated to you, those of you who are currently going through challenges yourself, like I am at the moment as well. So let's really understand why faith is so important. Faith is a powerful force. It's absolutely powerful. And it's that unwavering belief that despite how things appear, despite how the circumstances appear, there's a greater plan at work. When it comes to your financial journey, faith plays a crucial role in your abundance. And I've seen this in my own life time and time again. Before things fall into place, they actually appear like they're falling apart. And you really, especially when it comes to money, it comes in all areas of your life, is true, but especially when it comes to money, especially before you experience big money, there is a time when everything is falling apart. And it's that faith during that time period which helps you to stay together and navigate through that period of your life. It's about believing in abundance, even though everything around us is dark and our bank accounts show us otherwise, and everything externally provides evidence to the opposite, we have to believe that there's a greater force out there working in our favor and abundance is on our way to us, right? And this is why I have shared this. And I want to go over a story that I've shared with you many, many times before about the darkest financial moment in my life. That was straight after, well, it was during my divorce, my second divorce. And at that period of my life, I had two young children, a 5-year-old and a 9-year-old, who had been pulled out their education, the lifestyle, their friends. We lived in a tiny, tiny home in one of the poorest boroughs in London, and I was unable to even get welfare because of the property that I had, which was entangled in the divorce. I wasn't able to have access to it. The only money that was available to me was £137 and 14 pence coming to me. That was the child benefit for those of you who are in the UK. From that moment to where I am now, it seems like I took a quantum leap forward. But it was my faith during that time that allowed me to get through that time to get to where I am today. And there has been significant financial hardship even after that. And if I look back at that moment in time, bills were piling up. There wasn't any income at that time. I looked to going back to work, but I had been out of job, I had been out of law for the past 9 years before that. It felt like it was a tunnel and there was no light at the end. But I held on to faith and I kept believing things would turn around, and they did. And I took inspired action. If there's one thing I can tell you what happened back in 2017 was I took inspired action, whether to start my business, whether it was to work through the elements that were showing up in my life, to work through my money blocks. Everything I did was inspired, but the inspiration came because of my faith. And if things can turn around for me so drastically that I can be sitting here just 7 years thereafter, completely different financial story and completely different lifestyle, and having the kind of abundance that's open to me now, that is nothing short of a miracle that's truly happened, unfolded before my eyes. And if it can happen for me, it can happen for you, right? So let's talk about faith now. Faith isn't just something of passive state that happens automatically. Faith is almost like a muscle. You need to develop faith. You need to practice faith. You need to have faith every single day. It's active and it's dynamic. I mean, you have to develop it like a muscle do. If you haven't been to the gym forever and you go in there and try to pick up maybe 50 kg, you're going to struggle. But if you've been to the gym regularly and you slowly built your ability up, you will be able to withstand maybe even 100 kg or even 250 for some for bodybuilders, right? So why is faith any different? It's not. It's something that you develop and you work upon. Now, I'm going to give you a few steps and a few ways that I think that can work for everybody to develop faith. But I want to interject here. Here's a reason why most religions, be it Islam, be it Christianity, be it Hinduism, be it Judaism, Christianity, it doesn't matter any of the most religions, the most common religions anyway, the major religions of the world, they all talk about prayer. Now, prayer isn't just words. It's actively building a relationship with divine source energy, with God. And for Muslims, that translates into having 5 daily prayers. So 5 times a day, you're building that relationship with God. I know with Hindus, in Hinduism, it's that daily prayer in the morning. With Christianity, it's a prayer in the morning and the evening, and blessing the food before you eat. There are a number of different ways and strategies to build that, and that's what's been interjected into faith. So I am a big proponent that religions are amazing. I do believe in religion. I am spiritual, but I do believe in religion. I just don't believe people who hoard religion and use it for their own corrupt means. So I just want to put that in there. So when I'm talking about faith, I'm not talking about any particular faith in any particular religion. I respect all religions. My personal religion that I respect and I follow is Islam. I'm a Muslim, I'm a practicing Muslim. But I do believe Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, all of these religions, all of these different, thought lines of thought, these schools of thought, I should say, are amazing. And if you just follow those strategies alone to build that relationship with divine source energy, you can't go wrong. Okay. But I'm going to give you some new age ones as well. These are based on secular terms, and they're based on those of you who are adverse to the idea of religion and are more keen on just spiritual practices. But I just, before I gave you these practices, I wanted to build up on religious ones too, because I think they have a place. And when you have a strong faith that's ingrained in some form of religion, whatever it is, without the discrimination and all the other dogma that's attached to it, it can really boost your faith. I know for my life, in my darkest moments, I make my 5-time prayers. Forget 5, I do 7. I do the Hajjud as well, which is the midnight prayer. And I have never felt closer to God. But during those times of my darkest hour, when I'm crying and on the prayer mat crying to God, and I feel his presence, and I feel the tenderness and the warmth that comes to me from divine energy as a form of a blessing. Things externally haven't changed much at that moment in time. They don't have to. It's that feeling of being close to God and knowing everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. And I just have to be patient and see things through. So I just want to interject that before I go in and talk about all the other practices. So these are just some practices that I've given to everybody who are of non-religious background. And the best one from them, I would have to say, is daily affirmations. Start your day with daily affirmations. Remind yourself of the strength, your worth, your ability to overcome obstacles. So these are affirmations about who you are, building faith in yourself. So previously I mentioned faith in God, in divine energy. These practices will help you build faith in yourself, which is more applicable to most people who are in the new age thought. So these daily affirmations are a wonder. The more we repeat to ourselves, I'm amazing, I'm wonderful, I can do anything, everything's working for me, everything's working out in my favor, I'm overcoming this, I'm in the best place of my life, opportunities come to me, so forth, saying things like that, saying, oh, even that, or even talk about money, I'm a worthy of abundance. There's my favorite one that was given to me by Bob Proctor, which is money comes to me through multiple sources in increasing quantity on a continuous basis. It's one of my favorite ones, and I use it all the time, even to this day now. Things like that really help you. And then affirmations like, I trust the universe to provide for me. I trust God to provide for me. I believe, and one of my favorite ones is, I believe God's wealth is coming to me in avalanches of abundance. I use that all the time. It's another one of my favorite ones. Or every day and everywhere, which is another famous one. Every day and everywhere, I'm getting better and better. These are famous affirmations, but they really do work, and they're famous for a reason, because people have used them and tested them time and time again. But that's one of the first techniques that I would use to build faith in yourself, would be daily affirmations. And the best time to do this, I recommend, is first thing in the morning and last thing at night. So just before you go to bed, and just after you've got up and you've gone to the bathroom, do it in the mirror as well. That's probably the best place to do it. Okay. Next one is visualization. Spend a few minutes every single day visualizing the kind of life you want to live, your desired outcomes. See yourself living in abundance. See yourself living the kind of life you want. See yourself outside of whatever challenge you're currently experiencing, be it financial, be it with relationships, be it with health. You want to see the positive outcome. You don't want to see yourself overcoming it. You just want to see it's all done and dusted, and you already have the abundance, you already have the health, you already have the relationship, you already are where you want to be. That's the key. Okay. And this, I recommend you do. Again, the best times to do this is first thing in the morning and last thing at night, so that I think if you can build this into your daily practice, into your daily bedtime routine, your morning routine, that's when you're going to do this. So I've recently changed my routine, where I've started singing again. So we have to do riyaz, we have to practice our voice. And for those of you who are wondering, I'm not looking to become a singer. That's not the point here. It's just that I really enjoy singing. So to practice the Sarega, the riyas that I do, I have to, being so busy and having, obviously being a mother and an entrepreneur on top of it with multiple businesses, I have very limited time during the day and I forget about it. So I had to build that practice first thing in the morning. So it's first thing in the morning and part of the morning routine. Evening, it's not appropriate because my voice is already tired from the speaking all day long. So I make sure that that's a practice and a priority has to be built into my morning routine. And so it is. And this is what I recommend. These things that I'm telling you about, incorporate these into your daily life by putting them into your morning or evening routine. Okay. Next one would be gratitude practice. Another one of my favorite things. I normally get everyone started on this anyway, but I think for those of you who are looking to build faith, you really need to be thankful for some things you already have. So even in your darkest moments, there have to be things that you are grateful for. Not everything can go wrong all at once. You may feel like it is, but if you really dig deep, you realize 95% of the things in your life are going right. Your health is okay. Your life is okay. You've got food, you've got shelter, you've got your friends and relationships and other things. Even if you are having an awful time with one child, the other kids are fine. Your husband's fine. Your wife's fine. Your other parts of your life are fine. Your friends are fine. Everything. If your business is falling apart or you think it's falling apart, there'll be some parts of your business which is challenging, but there will be other parts which are not, that you can be grateful for. Maybe the people you work with, your team members, your managers, etc., etc. My point being, it doesn't matter what challenge is presenting itself, because you're fully focusing on that particular challenge, you're negating and ignoring all the positive things that are still present in your life. A gratitude journal forces you to look at the positives that are still present in your life. And you'll be surprised at how many positive things are present there. And I'm going to give you a little trick here that I do with my life. And it's worked for me wonderfully all throughout. So when I start, and I still do a gratitude journal, by the way. So when I write my things out that I'm grateful for, and I do this last thing at night, I write out all the things that I'm grateful for, me and my son, me and daughter, and my cats, and so forth. I write out things, and my brother, of course. I write out things that I'm grateful for. And then what I do is I list out logically, my relationships and then my car and my house and my business and so forth. But then so the first part is relationships. The second thing is all my material things that I'm grateful for and in my, and so forth. And finally, I write out things that haven't happened yet, but I'm expecting to happen. So I write things that I'm grateful for that I know are there coming because I'm manifesting them, I'm working towards them, I'm praying for them. And I truly believe, and I have held on to the belief, if I'm able to pray for something, if I'm praying for something, if I'm desiring something, then God wants to give that thing to me. As long as I continue to pray for it, as long as I'm continuing to work towards it, it's happening. It may not have happened, but it's happening. And that's where I have to be patient with it. It doesn't have to be a challenge. It could be maybe I'm manifesting a new car or a relationship or a holiday or a home, whatever it may be. I'm manifesting it. As long as I'm praying for it and I'm working towards it, it's happening and it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. So then I put that in my gratitude journal too. I'm grateful for those things too because they're in my life, they're in my energy field. They just haven't appeared in my physical 3D world. So that's another tip for the journal. The next thing I'm going to ask you to do is seek support. This is so important. This is what Napoleon Hill spoke about in his book Think and Grow Rich. Your mastermind is really, really important. You need to have a group of people that you can connect with and you can talk to who can help you build that faith, who can help to believe in you, who can help you get to whatever you're going to get to, be it your relationship, be it your health, be it your business. And they may not be your family members, they not may be your childhood friends, because those people may not have the capacity to understand what you want, what you desire. Therefore, you need to go out and seek support from positive, like-minded people and like-minded individuals who will actually support you, who will give you the uplift that you need, who will say, it's not a problem. It's happening now. It has happened now. It's happening. This challenge is fine. This too shall pass. One of the things that I learned early on was this phrase, this too shall pass. So whatever is happening, doesn't matter what's going on, everything else is past, so will this. This too shall pass. You need individuals like that who will say that to you, who will remind that to you. I'm very, very fortunate. I have some amazing relationships. And one of my biggest relationships, and I don't know if she's listening now, is one of my cousins. And she's amazing. She's a phenomenal single parent too. And I talk to her, and whenever she's down, she talks to me. Whenever I'm down, I talk to her. And the one commonality we have is whenever she needs to hear it, I tell her how she's going to do amazing well, and she's done amazing well already, and how far she's come along, and everything she wants will happen, and to instill that faith in her and build her confidence up, and vice versa. Whenever I'm down, whenever I'm low, she's building my confidence and building me up. You need people like that who will come and hold you when you're most vulnerable, and you will be. Anybody who thinks, oh, they're never vulnerable, they never make mistakes, are mistaken themselves. You will make mistakes, and it's natural process or part of life. You need someone to support you, to help you, to give you that boost when you are feeling vulnerable or when you have made mistakes, and you're going to, because that's the only way you're going to learn, right? So seek support. And the final one I'm going to say is going back to what I started off with, which is meditation and prayer. You can do meditation and prayer in the secular term when you're not praying to any deity, you're not praying to any particular God, you're just making the prayer to the universe, you're connecting to your higher self, and you're connecting to the universal energy. But if you have a religion, I really encourage you to seek out those religious practices, the way to pray, maybe with beads, with through if Muslim, doing your 5-time prayers. Even if you can't do 5 times, start with once. Like whenever I go off on a tangent, at times I do, I'm not perfect. So when I go off and fail to make my 5-time prayers, what I stick to is I always do the nighttime prayer, the Isha prayer. I never go to sleep without doing my Isha prayer. So if I know my Isha prayer is there, if I've gone off the rails and not doing the other prayers and not connecting to God during the day for whatever reason, I will eventually come back to it. So start somewhere. Have that daily ritual when you're connecting to divine source energy, whatever name you give it, whatever way you say it, it's perfectly choice, it's perfectly okay. And it's your relationship with your God. Who am I to judge you? Who are you to judge me? Right? Come from that angle. But connect with this higher energy, connect with this divine source energy, and work towards it. Work to build that relationship. This is why meditation and prayer really work. Even if you are of the opinion, no, I don't believe in God and so forth, then that's perfectly fine. Build that relationship with your higher self. And this is best done through meditation. I talk about for me, Muslim prayer is the best one because I believe it puts you, the whole process puts you into meditative state. But you can do it through, do some breath work and then going into mindfulness, doing some meditation, and you can even do Joe Dispenza's, or actually some of my energy clearings are very, very powerful like that as well. And if you are interested in listening to this, there's a link that should be in the show notes or in the description section for if you're watching this on YouTube. There's a link to our school community. If you come and join our free school community, it's free to join, by the way. If you come and join us, our free school community, you'll get instant access to energy clearings and cord cutting, which help you build that relationship with yourself. And that's to do with abundance mindset. But it shows you the breath work and the practices you can use to connect to divine source energy, right? So anyway, there's various techniques out there. I'm not here just to promote myself. I'm just giving you techniques that you can use. So use meditation and prayer, and use these techniques to build that relationship with your higher self and divine source energy. And this practice will provide you with comfort and guidance, especially during your times of uncertainty, during your darkest times. Yeah. And I'm going to give you quickly before I move off, before I close off this segment, because I think it's been longer than I anticipated. But I'm going to give you quick techniques, energy healing techniques that you can possibly use. Now, the very first one I'm going to recommend is what I just said before, which is my energy healing techniques. And we do this all the time. So if you come and join our school community, we'll help you and provide you and we'll give you some support. There is my book as well, The Laws of Money. Go check that out, and that will give you some understanding of how to build that for yourself. But there are techniques outside of me too, which I'm going to name here. And there's a couple. There's such thing as Reiki, which is a Japanese technique, involves transfer of energy through the hands to promote the healing and reduce stress. And seek a Reiki practitioner and can help. And we can learn the basics yourself. Get a book about it and do that. There's chakra balancing. Our bodies all have energy centers called chakras. When they're out of balance, they can affect your emotional and physical well-being. So, regularly practicing chakra balancing techniques with meditation, yoga, or any other technique can help you with that. And chakra balancing is something that we automatically do when we do energy healing. So that's something that we help you get into alignment with and balance with. And the third one is, which is something that I started my energy medicine and energy healing techniques with, and that's EFT, which is emotional freedom technique. It's also known as tapping, and it combines cognitive therapy with acupressure to release negative emotions and beliefs. So they are really, really powerful. I've just listed a few for you to use to build your relationship with divine source energy, but they're good energy healing techniques to get rid of those negative beliefs and negative ideas about you and your relationship with divine source energy. So, in conclusion, I want you to remember that faith is a muscle. Like I mentioned in the beginning of this podcast, faith is a muscle and you have to build it. So the more you use it, the stronger it becomes. And in your darkest moments, you really need to have a strong faith. You need to hold on to the belief that better days are ahead. You need to trust the universe has your back and that you're being guided towards something greater, something better, and everything's happening for you, not to you. You need to use faith to stay out of victimhood and stay in empowered mode. That you need to hold on to belief that whatever challenges have been presented to you by the universe knows you can handle them and you have the ability to navigate through them. And this is why faith is so important. So, thank you for joining me in today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found this episode helpful. Please do share it with someone who you might think may need the boost in faith today. Do share it with them and let them know if they need help, they can join our school community as well. Don't forget to subscribe and rate and review our podcast too. We just started the journey again. And until the next time, keep believing, keep striving, keep shining, keep shining, keep your abundance high, and just know that abundance is your birthright. Know that I'm praying for you, I'm wishing you well, and I believe in you. And it's about time that you really believed in yourself too. Until the next time, this is Gull Khan signing off. Take care and bye for now.